Once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there was a girl who loved to dream. She would spend hours making up adventures in her head, and her bedroom walls were covered with drawings of faraway lands and magical creatures. But sometimes Emma wished that her dreams could come true. One night as Emma was drifting off to sleep, she noticed something strange. A large red balloon was tied to her bedpost, and it seemed to be floating just above the surface of her blankets. Emma had never seen this balloon before. She reached out and touched it, and suddenly the room began to spin. When she opened her eyes, she found herself floating through the air alongside the balloon. She had been lifted right out of her window and was sailing through the night sky over her sleeping town. Below her, the houses looked like tiny Lego pieces, and the streets were like thin rivers snaking between them. "Where are we going?" Emma asked the balloon, but it didn't answer. It simply floated higher and higher until they reached a land filled with fluffy white clouds. And then Emma saw something unbelievable, a giant clock tower made entirely out of clouds. It had two enormous hands that were connected to wheels in the sky. And as they moved around the tower, they steered the weather all around the world. "Wow," Emma whispered. "That must be the Cloud Kingdom." But as she got closer, she saw that the clock tower was missing some of its most important parts. Some of the cogs and gears were broken, and without them, the entire system wouldn't work. Suddenly, a wise old owl wearing glasses perched on a nearby cloud. "You must be the child of prophecy," he hooted. "I've been waiting for you." "Prophecy?" Emma asked. "What do you mean?" The owl explained that long ago, the great wizard Merlin had hidden 6 magical keys around the world. These keys were needed to unlock the power of the dream clock so that it could control the weather. But somehow the keys had been lost, and now the world's weather was out of control. Storms were raging, floods were rising, and droughts were drying up the land. The only way to fix the dream clock was with the power of imagination. Only a pure-hearted child with a limitless imagination could find the hidden keys and restore balance to the weather. Emma knew she had a big imagination, but she was just a normal girl. How could she possibly fix the dream clock? The old owl placed his wing on Emma's shoulder. "You have more courage and kindness inside of you than you think," he said. And with that, he handed her a magic wand that glowed with rainbow colors. With her new wand in hand, Emma knew what she had to do. She thanked the wise owl and took off in her balloon to find the lost keys and save the day. As she soared through the sky, Emma knew that the first key had to be somewhere nearby. She looked down and spotted a field full of farm animals, each one bigger than she was. As she floated past, the animals looked up and started talking to each other. "Have you seen a little girl flying in a red balloon?" asked a brown cow with big floppy ears. "She might have the magic wand," said a pig with a curly tail. "I saw her earlier." "She's at the Whispering Waterfall," shouted a sheep with a fluffy white fleece. Emma followed the sound of their voices and soon found herself at the edge of a deep gorge. A beautiful waterfall cascaded down from the top, and the spray created a rainbow in the air. But what the animals hadn't told her was that the waterfall was also hiding a grumpy troll who hated anyone who disturbed him while he slept. Emma flew closer to take a look, and the sound of her balloon woke the troll up. "Who's there?" He grumbled. "It's just me," Emma said. "I'm looking for the first key to fix the dream clock." "The key," the troll said, perking up. "You want the key? I know where it is. But it's guarded by a fierce dragon, and no one can get past her without getting burned to a crisp." The thought of a fierce dragon made Emma feel scared and nervous, but she knew that she had to try. Just then, the troll jumped into the waterfall and disappeared. "Wait," Emma called after him. "Which way to the dragon?" The water swirled, and the troll's voice echoed back. "To the left of the waterfall, behind the curtain of mist." Emma followed the troll's directions, and soon enough, she spotted a cave hidden behind a wall of mist. Smoke was billowing out of the entrance, and the sound of roaring filled the air. Emma knew this must be the dragon's lair. Taking a deep breath, she flew toward the cave. Inside, Emma found the dragon fast asleep. Her scales were the color of rubies, and her wings were folded neatly around her like a blanket. On her chest lay a small wooden box that must contain the first key. But as Emma approached, the dragon stirred and let out a huge sneeze. Startled, Emma backed away. She didn't want to wake the dragon and ruin everything. But then she remembered what the wise old owl had told her. She had the power of imagination. Thinking of a solution, Emma grabbed her magic wand and waved it in the air. Flowers sprouted from the ground, vines climbed up the walls, and butterflies fluttered through the cave. The dragon slowly opened one eye and gasped at the beautiful sight. "Why have you turned my cave into a garden?" she asked. "I'm sorry," Emma said, "but I need to get past you to reach the first key." "Oh, yes," the dragon said, suddenly remembering. "A child of prophecy needs my key to fix the dream clock. Very well, you may have it." The dragon opened the box, and Emma carefully removed the first key. It sparkled with rainbow colors, just like her magic wand. Thanking the dragon for her help, Emma tucked the key safely away and continued her search for the remaining 5. She flew over mountains and forests, deserts and grasslands, and even across a grumpy wizard's house who tried to zap her with his magic. But with every place she visited, Emma used her imagination to make friends along the way. She helped a lost baby bird reunite with its mother, calmed a raging river with a song, and freed a trapped ladybug so it could join its friends on a leaf. All the while, Emma collected the remaining 5 keys, each one more beautiful than the last. Finally, with all 6 keys in hand, Emma returned to the Cloud Kingdom. The wise old owl greeted her and led her to the base of the Cloud Clock Tower. Together, they climbed inside and started winding the clock with the keys. At first, nothing happened. Then the gears began to turn, the hands started to move, and the clock sprang to life. The whole world sparkled with rainbows as magic flowed back into the dream clock. Suddenly, Merlin appeared in front of Emma. "You have restored balance to the world," he said with a smile. "I am Merlin, the great wizard, and these powers are yours for as long as you believe in them." With a wave of her magic wand, Emma transformed into a magnificent fairy with rainbow wings. She soared through the air alongside Merlin, watching over the world and making sure that everyone's dreams came true. And that is why, even to this very day, if you look up in the night sky and see a red balloon floating past, it might just be Emma taking off on another magical adventure. The end. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to click the like button. We have lots more fun adventures coming your way. See you next time.